All right, this is my week 3 discussion post. Holy crap, that was a lot to unfold, like a lot. Pretty much starts off by the narrator and some friends landing in, I think it's Wyoming. And she was scared that she might get some faces or some discrimination, or like know that you're not from there. But little do they know, she grew up there and they stayed at her friend's mom's house. And they go on to speak with the investigator of the case, and I got really good vibes from him. He seemed pretty genuine from what he talked about, and I mean, as we know, he couldn't really disclose any or like a lot of information about the case since it's still ongoing. But the narrator asked some really good questions that he was able to answer to I don't know, open her eyes about like how the investigation's going and like what some next steps are. And I thought that was really smart of her to do, since it's been too long for justice to be served. And then like just the investigator, like I said, just gave me really good vibes, and I'm really hoping by the end of this podcast he's able to give some more information or that he gets solved, but I highly doubt that. And then we go on to Fred's lawyer. Very interesting guy. From how he introduced himself, didn't feel like he was a lawyer. Because I mean, he didn't seem very professional about it. But then he goes on to tell us that he was let go after a few years. He had some personal stuff going on. 2 of his daughters died. He got arrested 4 times. And then he goes on to talk about, I forgot his name, some child predator, I think, and try to put the blame on him. He used the example of him going to some girl's house kind of a bit far away and watching her sleep. And then he made it out of like her house or apartment in time for him not to get caught. And then the narrator goes on to say that she felt like that was a tactic of him to point it to somebody else of crime already, to make Fred look innocent, but it didn't really work. So I thought that was interesting how she kind of broke it down into pieces, like not falling for it. And I think that was just the guy, the Mexican or Hispanic guy that was mentioned. But I think he is dead now. And another topic that I found interesting was how how a lot of police officers have died and investigators from like early on in this case have passed away, and there isn't really any of the old ones that like know a lot more than what these new ones know, which is kind of sad, because like, could it possibly be too late for Shelly to get the justice that she needs or that she's needed? And also bringing it back to the lawyer. He talks about how the police said that they needed to double run everything of the evidence, but nothing needed to be ran again. No test works, no nothing. So my question is, like, why isn't Fred Lamb in jail then? Like, that's all the evidence is there. Why isn't he in custody and in prison? I don't know. This podcast really gets more interesting. I thought it was gonna be boring, but I guess not.